Look, I think Joel is back in peak form at the moment. He had a pretty sleepy 2015 season, his worst finish. Oh, we're at the break. Joel Parkinson had this ride.
Well, I just love the fact that, you know, the veterans have seemed like they've picked up some steam as well. I think they're inspired by all the young little whippersnappers that are on tour this year. They've really kind of energized the entire top 34, and Joel just seems feisty, which is cool because we all know how syrupy smooth he is, arguably the best style on tour. So it's nice to see him, you know, add a little zest to his whole program.
You know, the conditions are tough. You know, it's pumping when you get a good one, and it's terrible when you don't. So, yeah, it's just about finding those clean, open walls. You know, the second, third waves definitely have a lot more cleaner faces. In that heat, I was taking a lot of the first waves just because car had priority. There was a little funky kind of thing that happened in the beginning of the heat. I don't think he quite heard me. I was trying to come around the wave, and he ended up standing up, but it didn't interfere with my wave. And I think we're out there to outsurf each other, not to out-paddle and get interferences and stuff. So, yeah.
On the search for an answer, and Joel chasing down his second ride at the moment. Gets a lot of speed to get started. Clean floater, straight up over the lip for that second maneuver. Puts his board on rail as he makes his way through to the inside and starts to set those fins free. Again, just smooth as you like as he brings this one through to the inside. And bangs it up over the foam right there on the inside. 35 years of age, his 16th year on the championship tour.
So he is beyond ready to you know, grab that bell. And everything seems to be flowing for Parko. You know, we talk about rhythm, sync, pacing yourself out here at Bells. It means so much because this wave is tricky. But Joel's making it look like a walk in the park. And he's combining that cruisiness with just precision carves. And, you know, this wave right here, a handful of really nice maneuvers, one little tail slide in the middle of those carves. And it couldn't have come at a better time because Connor just opened up with a really solid score, but I think Joel's right there to back it up.
Let's have a look at the CT Rookies ride. An excellent score, 8.1. And he's had some great composed performances already in 2016.
Yeah, again, you can just see Connor Coffin pays so much attention to that nice power game. He's so comfortable, just like Joel Parkinson, one of the best on tour with that solid power surfing. And let's slow this carve down and see just how he kind of sits down on that rail. Right there. Nice extension through that turn. And that was to keep the flow up because he knows that wave's going to go in front of him. But, you know, the technique from Connor is amazing. At 22 years old, he makes it look so easy. It really is kind of a natural ability, isn't it, Ron? Seems like he's just born to surf this way.
Well, born and bred on point breaks, just like Joel Parkinson. And that is the reason we have this pegged as one of the matchups of the third round. And Connor really turning up, an 8.1. Joel Parkinson, though, has just regained the lead.
And the other thing that I mentioned just before, I think he just had a little more variation. Joel looked a little cruisier. I think the aggression from Connor, maybe pushing on that rail just a little more. You know, it's not a huge difference in score, but almost a full point right there. Just, you know, he seems like he was just pushing the envelope just that little extra bit to barely reach that excellent range, 8.1. And, you know, it was close. Joel's ride was nice as well, but, you know, I don't want to say apples and oranges. You know, at the end of the day, almost a full point is a pretty big deal. That turn right there from Joel was nice, but it had a lot of flow and cruisiness to it. And like I said to you earlier, to this point, scores have been coming easy for Joel. It might be a kind of a good wake-up call for him to hear that 7.23. He might have kicked out of this wave here thinking, hey, they might even throw me an 8.5. So I would imagine that this will actually fire him up.
As we see Connor now using priority on this wave. It's a smaller rod. He's going to have to really throw everything at it to generate a score. He needs a 5.3 to get himself into the lead. Smooth flow. There's the first decent move. Nice little wrapping carve. As he moves through to the inside now. Not sure if that's going to do it. That might have been a bit of a wave selection error. As a wild card, that was back in 2012. He ended up in a round 2 heat. Any idea who he surfed against in that one at Trestles, Ross?
No.
Joel Parkinson.
And
it was a pretty close battle from memory. Joel actually got the jump on Connor in that battle. But there was a lot of talk about this kid, even at that point, and his commitment to big, powerful turns.
it's very rare that you see a teenager, and then even now at 22 years old, surf as strong as Connor. You know, a lot of times you just see that it's very obvious, that growth spurt, that trajectory as a surfer. You kind of reach that pinnacle of the magic age of, I don't know, what, 26, 27, 28, where you find that maturity, the extra muscle on your bones. But he's coming out of the gates surfing like
the Condor.
Condor. Kind of takes the cake.
Here goes Joel Parkinson.
Okay.
And surfing with a lot of speed, Ross.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to see. You know, we were kind of thinking that his last score would have went a little higher. So if anything, maybe this will fire him up and just surf with a little more speed. And that's kind of what's looking at a great wave selection, by the way, too. This wave stayed tall throughout the entire bowl section, and that's the key. You know, a lot of times you can take off and you might have one good section. This is funny right here. Watch this. That looked awkward.
Yeah, handstand gone wrong.
Didn't quite get all the way up. And let's really break this down here. Let's score this on a 1 through 10. He's trying to get all the way up. Didn't quite get his feet above his head. Ronnie, I don't know. I'm going to give that a 5.83. Good to see him having fun.
Oh, he's having a ball, and he is so recharged for 2016. He is
alpha male role to play on tour, and it's perfect this year.
Well, here he goes now, just taking a fall on the start of that ride. 7 minutes to go. That last wave, even though it was a medium-sized wave, a 7.33. Well, let's see how he deals with the pressure here. Joel Parkinson just reminding Connor that he's right there at the takeoff zone. And here he goes, the 22-year-old. Just transitions out of this first move into a solid frontside snap. He's got some wall to work with here. Huge layback snap. Just slides that tail out. There is a minute and a half remaining and still some swell lines moving in out the back to that last maneuver as Joel looks to better his heat score total. To put it a little further out of reach for Connor. Let's see what he can do with this piece of wall. Drives up into the lip. Aggressive turn. Cuts back into the white water. We'll definitely want more on the inside here. He is trying to improve on a 7.23. Not sure he's there just yet. Still carving. And now he gets a pocket to work with. Jams it again, still going. Another clean carve. Just gets a little caught up there in the pit.
That's where you're going to score the bulk of your points, on the outside. Joel had a long wave. So very different scores here to digest for the judges. Right here, this finishing move was big. And, you know, that's going to be pretty easy for the judges to get excited about. For sure, he's going to get that 6.46, I'm thinking. So it's going to be all hanging on Parco whether he can better his 7.3.
How many points are in these first two turns, though?
Just a little check snap there, so not a whole lot. Decent off the lip right there, but just more or less connecting the dots to get to that end section. So you're right. You know, it's going to really hang on that last turn. But if, you know, the judges haven't been really shy on rewarding a chunk of points on one big move.
Again, I think it's fair to say Connor's got the turn of the heat. It was the same way in the first round, but that didn't result in a heat win. So we're waiting on the numbers to come through. Full credit to the performance from this young Californian. We're watching his 8.1, the first wave that he rode during this battle. Well, based on form coming into this clash, both of us had Joel Parkinson pegged for the win. And I think Parco surfed this heat really well. But Connor's just got that aggression. And he throws everything at this last move.
Well, that second turn was good, but that last turn, I mean, that's got to be about 4 points in that one turn alone.
Pretty solid. Connor Coffin needs a 6.46 to get into the lead. We're also waiting on a number to come through for Joel Parkinson. And the number is in, an 8.17. Connor Coffin has moved into the lead. And Joel Parkinson is out of the event. He won't get the opportunity to equal Mark Richards and Mick Fanning with 4 Bells wins in 2016. What about this CT rookie powering through the earlier rounds?